So let's start, guys, with the most important blueprint class, and that's the subclass of the game instance. That's BP underscore GI underscore NMS. As you can see here in the settings, we have soft class pointer to the NMS save game class, which is a subclass from a custom C++ class, and you can see these are the variables that is holding this class. If we don't initialize it, this will not exist. We will have no access to these variables. So that's why the first thing that will happen in the C++ code is to initialize this variable NMS save game. If your NMS actor, or the subclass of the NMS actor, is present in the level, he will have access to exactly same variable that will be set in the C++. Now you can directly call any variable that you want to print string or modify. So for example, you can get rtime or any variable that you see here, and you can do exactly the same stuff from the game instance. Now, once this save game ref is initialized, the game instance will now apply scalability level. So you will be either using, I guess, a high or epic. If you want to use the ray tracing, then you can ignore this current level name. That's me experimenting with other stuff. But the important bit is try find NMS actor. So in case there is an NMS actor in the level, he will set this function. So you can see, depending on the state, will either do nothing or will start some more code. And as you can see in the game instance, we have a second function that's blueprint implementable. This one will get triggered from the example of the level transport, where we have instance editable variable. You can put destination tag, that would be the tag of the player start, and this is gonna async load the level. And I wasn't sure if there are any delegates. I couldn't find any delegates that would call back that the level was initialized. So I created myself this variable current level name, and basically it checks. But I guess this is not entirely correct, because it's an async load. It will immediately have a new level name anyway. So just the idea is, whenever we change the level, we just try to find that NMS actor. If there is an NMS actor, we might need to update stuff. If there is no NMS actor, then we do something else. And that's all for the game instance class. So let's continue with the really easy stuff so we can nail it all very fast. So for example, this is a very simple actor which has just cube and a box collision. When the component gets overlapped, then with a tag player, that means it's very important inside of your BP first person character in the capsule component. When you type in tag, then you need to set the tag to player, otherwise it's not gonna work. But anyway, all we are doing is using blueprint library function to call our game instance, and there we are scaling the time so it can go really fast for debugging purposes. And that's another class done. Now BPFP car is nothing, just a mesh and bunch of inputs. This is kind of a helper when you are positioning your emitters, so you can see it in the level. Just have inputs and we have a mesh, skeletal mesh, which is only in the first person mesh, so we can use the sockets to kind of showcase some sort of weapon attachment, or to sheath a weapon, or to change the weapon. This is the simple game mode that we are using here in the maps. BP level teleport we already have covered. The big one we will leave for the end. Now we have BP NMS data asset, so let's double click on that. And this one is simply serving as a storage facility for the handle animations. So we have here 17 images of the handle, and we have a sound, the voice, audio, that the synthesis was completed. Now similar, we have another asset that's holding all the stuff that we need when the door opens, like related to the VFX and its positioning. And we will then later on async load it, and that's where we store it. So NMS save game class I have already covered. This is just an empty player camera manager. I don't think I'm using it. Attenuation, the C++ code will either play through audio component on the BP NMS. If we type in audio, there is the audio component, or it will play through play at the location. So basically it will take the root component location, and either way it will use attenuation. So if you open it up, you can adjust how will the player perceive the sound.